and welcome back to Scarlet Rage Vintage. I thought it was time to make this video because you guys have kind of been left off with me crying on the last video about me being diagnosed with lipodema and just telling you that I was going to go see my surgeon. So this is an update video on what's happened to me in the past month or so. He basically assessed my legs. He obviously said, yes, you have lipodema, and I agree with your MLD specialist, which is Jane Board, that you are mid-stage 1. And then he sat down and basically asked me what I wanted from this surgery. So I was coming to him. Why was I coming to him? What did I specifically want? So my want list is I said to him, I don't want to chafe anymore, and I wanted to see my knees because I had never seen my knees, and I think I said that in my last video. He told me the pros and the cons, obviously, and he mentioned that this is sort of not a quick fix, this is a whole lifestyle thing. And funny enough, before I had seen him, I'd started actually on a low carb diet because I feel that is, through my research, it's been a lot of sort of things on forums about, you know, going a low carb, it helps, you know, with combating lipodema. So I started doing that. I think about writing love letters to potatoes every single day of my life. Then he emailed me and he sort of gave me my price list of how much. Now, he said to me, he is a very good surgeon. He will not do one foul swoop of a surgery because A, it's not good for your body, and B, it can be dangerous putting your body on the table for that long. So he told me I would need to have 2 to 3 surgeries. That honestly was the biggest kick in the pants, because obviously once you're dealing with a medical anxiety of having to deal, you think in your mind, okay, I'll have one surgery and that'll be it, it'll be over and done with, and I don't have to think of anything else. After sort of like having a complete and utter sort of diva fit, I was just like, okay, I can understand. So the first surgery he said to me was going to be the top of the thighs and the inside of my thighs, and my knees, so both sides of my knees. So it was basically 2 parts of my leg. You'll see that I carry a lot of my lipodema on the front. I'm quite bulky on, like, from my hip to my knee. A way that he described it is an upside down traffic cone, and that's what he said that from my knee to my hip looked like, which at first I was quite insulted. I was like, how dare you? You asshole. But then I was like, I looked at it and I was like, it's so right. Because obviously I thought to myself, right, I need to have this done ASAP. I can't, if I sit and dwell on this, I won't do it. So the sooner the better. So he came up with the date, and the date was the 10th of September. So it gave me about 3 or 4 weeks from that point to surgery. I am very privileged in the fact that I have always saved my money. I'm very good with my money. I have successful businesses to the point where I am able to save money. And I've also, you know, I'm not going to lie about this. I've been buying and selling property since the age of 18. I'm now 34. So I have saved money for rainy days, and it's put me in the position where I am now that I don't have to really stress about doing these surgeries. And I know it's privilege, and I know, you know, I totally understand that. When I saw him, he said, listen, I'm going to do this surgery on this one, and then I'm going to need to assess you when you come in for your consultation to see if you need, how much you need off the back of your legs and then your arms. So, and then he was like, if there isn't too much on the back of the legs, I can do the back of the legs and the arms at the same time, and then you won't need a 3rd surgery. And then I start hypnotherapy. Now, I speak to a guy called Paul, and he is the life doctor. He has a free podcast, actually. I'll link all of his information down below. He's actually doing all of his sessions via Zoom, and he is amazing. I'm going to say this now. He is absolutely amazing. He deals with all types of issues, but he also deals with a lot of anxieties and medical anxieties. And he was recommended through a family member. I had 2 sessions a week and basically trying to desensitize myself and trying to basically work through why I have a medical anxiety and what I need to do to move forward so I can get myself to the hospital. A great sort of exercise that he did is visualization. So I had to watch people get injected and a cannula get inserted, which still isn't fun, but listen, we'll get to where we are now. Also talking through the day, so getting up in the morning, putting my clothes on, husband driving me to London, me then walking into the clinic, and then, you know, walking me through the steps, like talking to the surgeon, talking to the anaesthetologist. And it was kind of great because on the day when it did come around, it's helped me so much. I'm not gonna lie, it was 3 weeks of hell, absolute mental hell. And I was also going through just SRV work, property work, and then also we were launching the magazine. So there was a lot going on in my life to, you know, normal people are like prepping for, you know, they do a 9 to 5 job. I work basically 24 hours a day if I have to. I'm a workaholic, so it's the way I like to work anyway. Then the week of the surgery, it was a really highly stressful week for me. Just life was just, everything was just pretty hardcore. And I ended up having a 2-hour panic attack on my kitchen floor. My husband was at work and I was on my own, and I felt like I needed to have that. It sounds really terrible in hindsight. Like, I don't wish anyone to have a panic attack. It's probably the worst thing ever. Day of the surgery, drove up to London, husband dropped me off, met my surgical nurse. His name was Owen, he was fabulous. I sat in the room, they had a beautiful private room, which was just a chair with some TV and some Wi-Fi, which was fantastic, which was what I needed. When I spoke to Paul, he was fabulous. He sort of just said, you know, be proud of yourself, you're already here. And I was just like, I am here. I am here. That is true. There is no way of me running away right now. Then I met most of the team, so Owen, and then I saw my doctor, which is Dr. Wolf. He came, we had a conversation, he marked out my legs, and then I met my anaesthetician, and he probably was the devil. The guy that was going to stick me with the needle was probably, and knock me out, was the person that I was just like most fearful of. I think because obviously I was in a hypnotic state, so obviously I was fully going through my own sort of situations. He kept asking me if I was okay, which freaked me out in my own mind, sort of like, yes, I'm okay, what, why would you say that? But I recouped. I then watched Canada's Drag Race, the first when they all come in. I walked myself into my surgery, and Dr. Wolf had a Coolio playing as my entrance song, which was quite interesting. I woke up, I begged Owen, who was my surgical nurse, 3 times while I was off my nuts to take the cannula out, and he said no, only when I was awake. I asked my husband to bring me an almond milk cup of tea. I don't know why I wanted it, but I did. And Owen walked me to my husband and my car. And I have to say, it was the weirdest off my nuts I've ever been in my whole entire life. I could tell my husband how to drive around London impeccably. But then the next minute I was like bunny teeth and giggling to myself. It was just one of those. The process of the surgery was fantastic, everything like that. It's the recovery that gets you up the butt. That's where it is. So the next day, obviously, you have to have your first MLD massage, which is I have with my fabulous MLD therapist, which is Jane, who diagnosed me. She doesn't really normally like to do these, but she said she would do them for me, which is, I'm very thankful, and she does them at my house. So very useful when you have surgery to try and have someone that come to your house, because you getting in and out of a car the day after your surgery, don't even think about it. You're not even going to be able to walk straight type of affair. I lost all my independence for those, I want to say 6 days, because it hurt. Everything hurt. It was painful and really sort of like humbling at the same time. My husband really had to do a lot for me. There was a lot of cooking, cleaning. He had to do all my bandages because obviously I'm not able to do that. I don't have the strength. I'm 3 weeks out now of operation. And I want to say in the past 2 weeks, let's say a week and a half, that I've really started to get back to sort of full mobility, when the doctor says you're up and walking, the next day, you're up and sort of squabbling around if you can type of thing. It's not sort of like, I'm back to my normal self. And it's a really hard process because basically you go through like the surgery and everything like that. For me, it was really, really hard. And I'm so thankful I carried on with hypnotherapy afterwards, because it's really helped me sort of get my mental health together. And this is coming from someone that I don't think I had. I know I had an anxiety, but I didn't know that I needed to look after my mental health as much as I do now. You think you're running, but you're not. You can't. And it's sort of one of those things that you really do need to take it very slow and very patiently. I was working, so I had surgery on the Thursday and I was back at work on Monday. Luckily I work from home, so I'm able to do it, laptop, everything. But you have to keep yourself exercised, you have to walk around, you have to get up, you have to, and it's one of those things that you can't fully get yourself off the sofa on your own. And bathroom, let's not discuss that. Jeez, I mean, wow. Yeah, and then the mental health of it is the kicker, because obviously the day of the surgery you kind of see where you are going to be, and then the next day you blow up like a balloon. And you're up like a balloon for probably, I want to say, about a week and a half to 2 weeks. That's for me. This is all me talking about myself and my recovery. Everyone is completely different. Then you basically think, oh my God, what have I done? What have I put myself through? Why did I do this? And then it brings me to here where I am now, where yesterday I had my first workout. And yesterday I had my first bath, which I was scared that I wasn't able to get out of the bath, and my husband was at work, so I did have to maybe pre-warn my mum that she would have to come and get me out of the bath. But good news, I managed to get myself out of the bath. Woohoo! So you'll see there's quite a huge difference. I have a knee, which is lovely. I'm so excited, and I don't chafe, which is amazing. And I have just literally, as of yesterday, paid for my second surgery. My second surgery is now on the 27th. I am not scared. So the idea of going into a second surgery does not fill me with the anxiety that I had before. And that is due down to me and my hypnotherapist and him helping me to where I am. The next surgery is basically the back side of my legs and my arms. They sort of recommend whenever you want to have your second surgery, you can have your second surgery. My surgeon is like, I can do it 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 6 months. It's just up to you. And I don't want to be in recovery come Christmas. Would I recommend this to everyone? I think everyone's completely different on your lipodema or your lymphedema or anything like that. I did this because I needed to. I've been working out for 6 years straight, and I'm not a wimp when I work out. I'm a hardcore sort of working out kind of person, and I was not getting any results at all. So this surgery has already given me the results and the happiness and the pain. So even though I've been in pain with like surgical pain, I want to call it surgery pain here, surgery pain, it's been nothing compared to lipodema pain, which is crippling in itself. And since me having surgery, I've not had this pain. This pain, yes, This pain, no. And that for me is such a good indicator about, okay, I may not ever have this pain ever again. And that to me is everything. Obviously, I know money is a huge thing, and sadly in the UK, this is not on the NHS. This is completely private, which sucks complete and utter ass, because 11% of women in the world are affected by this chronic illness. Just to let you know what type of sort of low carb diet I'm on 100 grams of carbs a day, which is not a lot. I weighed pre-surgery 13 stone 5. I weighed myself this morning. I am 12 stone 7. Now this is obviously in part with surgery, because he took out, I don't think I told you, he took out 5 litres of liquid or fat from my legs, and also I'm on a low carb diet, so I've literally doing myself the good service, and I'm trying to carry on. And yesterday obviously I will be going back into working out, and tomorrow I'll be working out, so I have a day on, day off. Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm excited for the future. I'm excited about my future, which is probably the best thing ever. I highly recommend my surgeon. I will probably start asking him for a referral fee, because another lady is going to be using him, which I think is fantastic, because he is amazing. I can't fault his duty of care. I can only fault his anaesthetologist, which I did tell him the next day when I was off my nuts, which was quite funny. And I recommend, if you are in the South Coast and you want to get diagnosed, I recommend Jane Board as your MRD therapist. And if you need a hypnotherapist, I recommend my hypnotherapist, Paul. He's fantastic. I also will link all of their information down below. Thanks guys for watching. I appreciate you guys on all your kind words. And if I haven't been able to sort of contact you back, it's just because I've been quite overwhelmed and kind of just looking after myself. I really do appreciate you guys watching and really taking a general interest in my life. That's why I try to be as open and honest as humanly possible. I think maybe I might do some more YouTube videos, but it might be horsey led. I don't know. I don't know where my journey is with YouTube still. I don't know how I feel about YouTube still. I'm here because I just obviously want to bring more awareness to this chronic illness. Thank you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe.